Bro, I don't know what to do. At this point, I'm just fucking stuck between a rock and a hard place. And when I tried to get on here last time, there was a man in this pickup truck. He was stalking me outside. He came after I already had hopped on, like maybe 15 minutes in to the video. Sorry, I'm eating. But spiritually, he came connected to a Taurus woman. And Spirit showed me is Tasha. And that she's significant because she's married to the Aries man who owned that school or who worked with that school. That's been setting me up. And so you guys got people stalking me. Tasha, no, they work with A&P, the streaming team. They're also a Scorpio woman. She been a part of this setting me up too. And so she was in a relationship with my extended family. His name's Rodney. So when I saw that they pulled up, I was like, oh, you guys are really trying to play with me just to make me uncomfortable. And it's connected to this Aries man, the Taurus woman, how she got ties to government, that Scorpio chocolate woman, they work with A&P, Thomas Sue. Oh. And I'm just like, you can't expect me to just get comfortable with this, you know? You're like, yeah, you know, you guys trying to intimidate me for talking. It's crazy. I'm not going to shut up, you know? And so I had to finish what I was saying because I was realizing when they, you know, was trying to intimidate me, it's only because they don't got this home no more. They had got a home out here, and the Aries and Leo man, it's the Aries man and the Leo man, they was helping pay for this home or invest in these homes. The Leo man's finances stopped, and the Aries can't do nothing. He's at a distance. He's scared. You at home doing magic? No, yes, you are, Aries. You're at home doing magic. Spirit showed me he's scared. And his wife been sending people out here to abuse me. It was a random car, but you know what I'm saying? And then they parked. They sat on the other side of the building I was at. After they pulled in, it was like 2 a.m. And they just try to watch me. And they waited till I got off, and then when I left, they tried to follow me, right? You like waited till I left. They saw me walking off, and they tried to follow me. So I doubled back. I'm like, I'm not finna walk home while you're behind me. I don't like people following me or coming from behind me. I like to make sure I can see you. And so I turned around. I didn't go home. I turned around and I went towards his car. I looked at him like, I'm not scared of these niggas, bro. And all I see was him look at me and start to get ready to drive off. And I saw another car coming down fast as fuck. Zoom, right? Coming down the street. Because I was crossing the street when he was trying to follow me and shit. So I got mad. I turned back around to show him, like, nigga, I'm not finna run from you, though, bro. Like, you're not finna watch me go to my house. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna put my key in the door while you're just right there doing weird shit. So I wanted him to know I was off that. And so he got scared. He started to pull out. He didn't say nothing. He started to pull up, and I see this other car coming down the street fast as fuck. Vroom, vroom. In the other car, I saw it was Spirit showed me. I was like, who is that? Spirit showed me it was the Hitman. It was the Aquarius. It was Vaughn. And this nigga's in town. They're here. And it was all divine timing. Like I said, wow, it's crazy because like he pulled up right after I got off live, he pulled up too. And he came flying down the street. You knew. And this nigga skirted away. And I was able to go back home. And I said, Spirit, what you want me to do? And Spirit said, hold back, just wait. Wait a couple of days to say something. Because that's your confirmation. They're sending more people in town to stalk you. Just weirdos, you know what I'm saying? But it was because he couldn't get in the house because the government, there's a Libra. He like the chief. You're like, yeah. He took the keys from the Leo, from Theron. Connect to these houses. These secret houses that's been being used to abuse me. This nigga had a truck, a pickup truck full of shit. Like he was trying to unpack, you know what I'm saying? But he couldn't get in the house. He was sleeping in the car that night. And he was angry with me. And so every time I say something, he get angry with me. And I wanted him to know I'm angry that you're angry that I'm speaking. You shouldn't be angry that I'm speaking. You should be minding your own business like I mind mine. I don't get angry when you talk, but I'm going to get angry if you're stalking me. I'm going to show you. So I did. And so I was like, yeah, that's all it is. They're mad they can't get in this house. They lost the house. And I was like, that's connected to the government, though. They's like, yeah, but there's somebody in there on your team. It's the head nigga, one of the head niggas in charge. And you guys, they asked Theron and all these niggas that's been abusing me, stalking me. They asked these niggas to the judges. They sent out a message to say like, hey, can you pretty much bully this bitch, judge this bitch, fuck up this bitch's life, compete with this bitch. Sent it out to judges and chiefs and all type of public, whatever this is. And niggas got to say if they was willing to do it or not. The nigga who said he wasn't gonna do it, he's the nigga that took the keys away. One of the niggas was like, I'm not doing that. He a white man or some shit, or Asian. He said he ain't gonna do it. He was gonna help me. And Kasha was working for him. And he ended up taking their keys. So now he got the keys to the crib. They lost the houses. They would have to use the Aries or somebody to pay for a new home. But the Leo, he's done. Aaron, they're like, yeah, they're done. Tasha, she's done. Something's like, you're done. I got more things to tell you. I'm trying to take my time because I don't like being rushed. I don't like feeling like I can't enjoy myself. I like to go home and watch my videos back. I like to download my videos. I like to listen to myself. I am my biggest fan. Unbeknownst to anybody, you should know by now. I'm gonna support the fuck out this bitch. I'm gonna keep this bitch going. You know what I'm saying? You are here. So I'm this bitch's biggest fan. So I need to make sure I take time with her. That's my baby. I love this little bitch. My baby. We gotta take time with ourselves, take time for ourselves, and not allow a bitch or a nigga to rush us because we're telling the truth, using our First Amendment right to speak the truth. And don't let a bitch or a nigga try to intimidate us. Don't let a bitch or a nigga just keep talking. Act like you don't see. Keep talking. Act like you don't see. Keep talking. All right. This bitch ain't gonna have to keep pushing. Somebody here is dumb as fuck. Right. So you find that out, Libra, that was hiring people like Kasha. You find out that these niggas is shit out of luck because they don't have the keys to the houses. They're scared of you. Hold up. They know it's over. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yeah, something here is like, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Yeah. All right, next up, I gotta tell you more shit. Well, yeah. Yeah. I don't give a fuck. I'm just too honest. All right. Some gotta do it in a past life. I was staying at this house, and I don't know, it was like connected to like a school. Like the crib I was staying at was connected to a school. Spirit showed me. I had to ask what was my energy, like who was I in that dream, because the dream made me feel some type of way. I was sad. I felt like I was being rejected, bullied, and the house and the school, it was connected or something. I don't know how to explain it, but there was girls. There was girls at the house, and they were also at the school, and they were being mean. They were being mean to me. At the house, there was a Big Ivory was at the house. That was significant. She was staying there, and there was other girls there too, but I didn't know these girls. But Big Ivory was there. I knew her, and I thought she was cool, and I knew like I wanted to kick it with her. Like I liked her, like I was like, yeah, okay. So Big Ivory, she's on Baddie. She's a celebrity, a reality star, and so I was like, okay, why is she being mean to me? And she was saying, no, you're not sleeping in my room. You're not sleeping in our room. And I didn't say nothing. I just was quiet, right? In the dream, I didn't know what to say because I was sad, right? You're like, yeah. And I was like, whatever. And I said, I'm gonna go home. Then I'm gonna go somewhere else. Like I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go home or something. Because I don't think I was supposed to be there. I think I was just there because I was connected to somebody who was staying over there. But they said I couldn't sleep in the room. So I feel like I wasn't supposed to be staying there. And I said, well, I'm going to go back home. And she said, okay, go back home. And she was laughing. And I asked Spirit why she was being mean to me. And Spirit said, because you were a boy. Nigga, something here was like, you can't sleep with the girls. It's because I was a boy, but I stayed in the school with them. Like it was like a living situation with a school connected to it. There was a girls' side, a boys' side. I couldn't sleep with the girls. I wanted to sleep with Ivory. You're like, yeah, I had a crush on her. I knew. I felt sad. And Spirit showed me. You want to sleep with her. You like Ivory. She was cool. And so she bullied me out the room. And I just remember I ended up going to school after that. Like, I remember the school connected to the room. And I was like, oh shit, oh shit. And I ended up connecting the dots. And I went to, I went to like a class, like it wasn't a classroom. It was like an area where everybody was all talking and eating and stuff. There was boys there, there was girls there, but the girls were being rude again. There was also stairs, a nice staircase where I was at, and I was just going through the school, but it was connected to the homes. And the girls, I remember seeing Jada Pinkett. That was really significant. You're like, she was at the school. She wasn't inside of the. She wasn't in the fucking. What you call that motherfucker? She wasn't in the house with me. I didn't see her in the house, but I saw Shorty in the school. And so when I saw her in the school, I had with her. Yeah. Because she kept on following me. I was trying to go up the stairs, go down the stairs. I was trying to go in the lunchroom. I was trying to see what was up with the classrooms. I couldn't get in none of the classrooms. I could just go up, down, and the stairs into the lunchroom where all the other kids were, a common area. And so she was following me, and I said, "Why are you following me?" She was calling me ugly, right? And I said, "I ain't ugly." I said, "I'm fine." I was like, "What are you talking about? Stop talking to me." I was trying to ignore her, and she was a bully. And there was other girls that she was with. I was saying, "You are ugly. You are ugly." And so what I did was in the lunchroom, she was talking too much. I said, "Stop talking to me," because I knew I had a girlfriend. That was significant. Like, yeah, I know who it was. It was a Capricorn. They're a boy. They're a man today. But in the past life, they were female, and we can call them Eve, for lack of a better word. And so Eve was my girlfriend, but it was crazy because yeah, I had got mad at Jada. Jada was just pissing me off. Like, no. Spirit said this because she had a crush on me, and she was mad because I was fucking on this Capricorn. And I was just not listening. Like, I'm irritated. So then I ended up put in my hand. I ended up like grabbing her coochie. You're like, yeah, her vagina. I got mad and I grabbed the vagina and I felt a little penis, right? You like, I swear to God, I felt a dick, but she looked like a girl. She had the face of a woman, but of a female. But her private part, it was like a hermaphrodite, right? That's what you call them, right? And so she had like a penis. Uh, so we do laugh. I think it's funny as fuck. And I said, and she looked at me scared. She got scared, like her eyes opened up. Like she was embarrassed. I said, you got a sex change. I told everybody. I said it out loud in the lunchroom. I said, Jada got a sex change. She got the sex change. And you niggas was like, you niggas was like, you got a sex change? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? She got, and I was like, yeah, it's a dick. I couldn't make it up. I laughed. Everybody was fucking laughing at this bitch. But Spirit showed me that she's significant because that really happened. And some God do it, us being stuck in an unnatural disaster after that. Like, I don't know. I don't know if she died or what, but Spirit said that really happened with the Leo. And that this nigga Theron, he gave her the sex change. She was a hermaphrodite. Can't make it the fuck up. But she was a little girl. I think that was significant. It reminded me of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's child. You can find it online. Google. It's on Google. Their child having a sex change as a little boy. And that turns motherfucker into a girl. So that was crazy. I couldn't believe it. After that, but Spirit showed me I was Donovan. And like I said, I had a girlfriend. She was a Capricorn, and that we died together. Like we died in an unnatural disaster together. As Donovan, they showed me a lot of people died through water. We're like, yeah, a lot of people. So I don't know who survived when I was Donovan, but it was like if you survived, you made it out the unnatural disaster. Like that's good. But the only reason why I died as Donovan was because of water. Nobody killed me. Like I wasn't killed. I was trafficked. That's the only bad thing about it was we was being trafficked. But outside of that, we died from water. Me and the Capricorn. And I had we were in school. We were kids. I saw that we was traveling to like the mall, the airport, different places, and we had to sleep in these locations because of the unnatural disaster. Like, Spirit showed me us sleeping and waking up like hella uncomfortable. One time, this I knew too. I was like, what the fuck? I was a girl. I was a boy for the dreams with the Capricorn because the Capricorn had one time started their period while we were in like I think it was like the mall, sleeping in the mall or something. It was bad. And this nigga woke up and I see like in the dream when he woke up, I see me trying to stop something from like trying to cover up his private part, but not realizing why I can't really see a dick. You know what I'm saying? You're like I'm not really noticing why I can't see his penis, you know? But I see my hands trying to cover up his private part in public, in a public location. I'm like, why would he be naked in public? The Spirit showed me he wasn't naked. He was bleeding. He was a female, and he started his cycle, and he was trying to stop the blood. It was while you guys were in school or something. We couldn't stay in our location because there was a natural disaster coming. You know, yeah, that was very significant. When I was Donovan, and it had to do with the water. That's all I remember. Something had to do with water. I don't know, but I know my teacher at that time was significant. My teacher, Miss Kaysen, she was significant when I was Donovan. I was going to school like Lincoln. It looked like Lincoln because I had dreams of people connected to. I was going to Miss Kaysen's class and I was saying goodbye to the Capricorn. I know the Capricorn in this life today. Like I've experienced the Capricorn. They're cool as hell. You like, yeah. I love the Capricorn. So I know who the Capricorn. It's not SK. It's another Capricorn. But whatever that is, he cool. He cool. I love him. He's a sweetheart. And but I was like, why am I dreaming of him at my school? It looked like he was at my high school. And I was walking in his cases class, but I was about to say goodbye to him. And he went to go talk to this girl I used to be friends with named Tia Willingham. And I was like, why are you talking to Tia? Like when I woke up, I was confused. Like, why is he talking to people that I'm friends with? I used to be friends with. Or why is it like, it was off. The energy was off. Like it didn't feel like comfortable. I didn't feel like, I knew Tia like I would when I woke up. I'm like, why I feel like we don't really know each other? Why I feel like so it was like that. She wasn't my friend. Tia was the Capricorn's friend because the Capricorn was a female. Tia was a female too. And me and Tia wasn't close in that life, but they was, and she was around. And as a female, but you're like, yeah. But they didn't. The Capricorn didn't grow up out here. That's what's crazy. They're not from out here. They're from like the East Coast. They moved out here, so I don't know. I just know like that was all because of a natural disaster. Spirit just needed to know about the unnatural disaster. Like all those dreams of me being Donovan was significant because it was preparing us for a natural disaster. We died, and people's identities were robbed, and people were already being trafficked, and it was just a lot of shit. Yeah. All right, so that's what you need to know. But after that, okay, wait. See, like, I gotta make movies on this shit, bro. It's like science fiction or I don't know, some sort of like non science fiction or I don't know, some weird shit like that. Yeah, yeah. But that was crazy. We all died, and people had to start over. Some people didn't though, and some got to do with somebody named Darnito. Spirit showed me Darnito because he spoke to me in my sleep a couple nights ago. He had said, he said, I'm watching over you. I'm watching over you, baby. That's what he told me. He said, it's Darnito. I'm watching over you, baby. And I was like, who is Darnito? And Spirit, because I couldn't see his face, but Spirit revealed to me, like, I've dreamed of him before. And I dreamed of him connected to a Capricorn. And I dreamed of him when I was Saji. And I was like, oh, this is my past life son. And I didn't know until it got good because like at first I didn't have memories of him being a little boy and what he looked like as a little boy or anything. I just knew he was robbed from me when I was a Libra. I knew that. I knew that. But in this dream I had as a woman, this woman would be his mama today, but not his biological mama, but she is claiming to be his mom, right? They're like, yeah, okay. So this woman, right? She been a white lady. She she got red hair or something. It's like red or ginger. Like, It curls. It curls like Shirley Temple, and it goes down to like her neck, the bottom of her ear, and she had invited me. She had been staying at this house, and he invited me because he was older than me. And the Cancer, you're like, yeah, Darnito. Listen, he was older than me, and he invited me to go hang out with him at her house. But she was there with these men. It was two men of color, and I was like, what the fuck? Like she was fucking with both of them, You're like, yeah, whatever. Free spirit. She could have been Polly. Anyway, so yeah, she had these two men of color over there. She was a white girl, and I was fucking with her son. I was fucking with Darnito, but that wasn't her son. I didn't know this bitch robbed me until I saw his baby pictures. I'm in the house looking at his baby pictures on the wall, on the fucking refrigerator, all over the house. Like his baby pictures are everywhere. You're like, yeah, mm-hmm. And I'm looking at her. She's tall. She got these long legs. They're kind of skinny, but a little meaty. I can't really explain it. You can't miss the legs. Some significant about her legs. She got these legs though, significant. I can't miss them. But she still got body weight on her, and she like to wear things that's like revealing. She dressed like she's still young, but she older. And yeah, she had, like I told you, her hair was in these Shirley Temple curls. It was like a red, auburn, burgundy. I don't fucking know, but she had like her makeup on, and she had these two men. They was chocolate. They was in the house. And so when I saw the pictures, I started to get like flashbacks, and like I started to feel my origin shit, because like I knew that baby. You know what I'm saying? You like that baby, that little light skinned boy. I knew that motherfucker, and I started to want to cry in the dream. I felt it, like I was getting sad and angry. I wanted to beat this bitch up. You're like, but I was still young. It was scary though, cause they were older than me, even Darnida. So I didn't say shit. I just got mad, and I wanted to leave, and so we left. I was Jamila in that life. You're like, yeah, that's significant. I was Jamila when I saw that. Like when I was able to reincarnate with him, he was older than me. I came back as Jamila, and he was older than me, and I was staying out connected to New York. You're like, yeah, he's cool as hell. But yeah, Spirit said that was significant because that was your son with SK. That woman robbed you. She's still on the run today. Fucking it up. No, yes you is. Yes you is. Connected to Darnado. Alright, so he watches over me. You're like, yeah. Alright, after that, he's a protector. After that, I heard the little Aquarius boy. You guys remember that little Aquarius boy? He looked like Benjamin. I told you about him. He's old as fuck. He's old as fuck. You're like, yeah, his face is, but his age is only like 8 years old, 9 years old. He died when he was a little boy. He was a hitman. He got this face like Benjamin Button, but he was a boy of color, light skinned caramel, and he yeah, he was working for the government. He was a hitman, a hit boy, and he also sold drugs and like different contraband. You're like, yeah, he was bad. He was a bad little boy. Okay, and excuse me, he died because he was killed by somebody named Kendall, and he was trying to lie on Kendall in my sleep. He was saying, Kendall found me, she's lying. And Kendall was not lying. Kendall killed this boy because Kendall found him. She found him driving a car. He wasn't supposed to be driving. Like I said, when I saw him setting me up in my dreams, he was a hitman. He was trying to kill me, and he got himself caught. So it was like it didn't work. The dumb little boy, and he. I'm laughing, and Spirit showed me that he was doing that for a long time, and he was being trained by the government. That's significant. Working with Karina Kirkendall, the Libra, all these people. And I said, no way. Spirit said that's why you was dreaming of him when you were living at that last house you were staying at the Airbnb, little Airbnb house connected to the Asians. And the government was setting me up through them because, and that little boy was working because they was trying to send that Aquarius boy to kill me. He's an amateur. And so they've done it in a past life. He was connected to that white woman, or Asian or Native or whatever she is. Anyway, I couldn't make it the fuck up. Once that shit happened, Yeah, she killed him when she saw him driving around, working, doing hits, and selling drugs. I guess he had pounds on him. He was in my sleep saying, and she took my pounds. She took my pounds. He was mad that she took his drugs away. I mean, she did what a cop would do or something. Like something was like she did her fucking job. The little boy was mad, and I said, Spirit, don't be sending these little people to my dreams lying to me. Like if they gonna be coming saying stuff in my head, they can't just be lying. You can't be allowing the dead to lie. You know what I'm saying? The Spirit laughed. Spirit said that's what was happening though. That really happened. He really tried to stand up for himself and say that the police, Kendall, she was lying, and she wasn't. He shot her first, little boy. He shot the police first. And that was he fucked up. The Spirit said she was just gonna take him to jail, but he tried to kill her for stopping him because he he just had a big head. He worked for the government, big bank. Yeah, that's what he thought. He thought that it was big bank versus little bank. Like we both work for government, ho. I got the government on my side too, ho. So anyway, it looks like he did. But he's speaking to me. He wants me to know that he's still mad about that, and he wants me to just know that he's mad. He's like, yeah, she took my pounds. She took my pounds of weed. He was trying to sell. Spirit said, man, this kid was dangerous, man. You guys hired him, government, working for Karina Kirkendall. She was raising this boy. And this is why I was dreaming of him, because he was bullying me just like she was while she was sending out all them false court orders, all them false documents. They always send out false documents from the court, from the judges. You like, yeah, from DSHS. I'm like, stop sending me this false Somebody here done copy and pasted the logo, put their name right there on the bottom. I know. I'm like, this bitch nigga, how you gonna copy and paste the DSHS logo just to tell me I got child support? I know how to do that. I know how to transcribe logos. Right. So we laugh. Okay, but that's what happened though. I told him he was wrong. Spirit said, you need to let that go, little boy. Kendall wasn't wrong. She wasn't lying. She killed you because you shot her. You was trying to kill her for stopping you while you were driving with underage without a license with drugs or contraband. He like, yeah, and he wanted me to know. I was like, who hires you? Like, who's training you and helping you? He showed me the government, Karina Kirkendall, the judges and them. That they were raising this boy. He was like a stray. I don't know his name though. I never knew his name. I just know what he looks like. It's so sad. It's just so unfortunate. After that, I had a dream with the woman. Her name's Mimi. Yeah, yeah, Mimi Leaks, and I was irritated with her because she was leaking out false information about me. It was just all lies. I don't know why she cared so much. The spirit said something had to do with a Scorpio man who loves me. All right. He was supposed to be friends with her, but she's not solid. She's jealous, or she's hateful, or she's competitive, or she's a problem. She petty, and Spirit showed me she competing with me in that she's gonna cut off the Scorpio because she's jealous and hateful, and she's gonna start saying lies on my name. I said, well, just know, Spirit, if her actions speak louder than her words, so do my hitman. No, I. Ouch, 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 ouch. Nene leaks. Bitch, you gonna be leaking for real. Keep playing with the spirit. Huh? Some here like, I ain't playing with this bitch's spirit. This bitch gonna be leaking for real. It's not gonna be information, little bitch. You gonna be leaking blood. Some here like, keep playing. Leave me alone. I shouldn't be having dreams of you lying on my name. It was just so much false info. Like, what is this? Trying to give me bad names and bad credit. I thought y'all didn't know me. We know you now. It's like when my blessings start coming in. when great things start coming in. Now they know me. They know me to fuck up my life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, confirmation. What? Okay, I gotta tell you guys this last couple of things. SK, this is connected to you. You're like, yeah, I saw you finally trusted me with valuables and with possessions. You finally got me a gift. You never buy me any, you never gave me money. I've done a lot of work, SK. You never bought me a gift, gave me money. Not shit. You're not shit. You don't do nothing for me, SK. Spirit sees that. They saw you got me these shoes. They're yellow and they're white, but they're mainly yellow. They look like I know they're designer. But I don't know what they're called. Mm-hmm. Designer shoes that look like Converse. Yeah, they look like Converse. I think they were Dior. You're like, yeah. When it rains, it pours. He like the way. So I feel like they're Christian. You're like, yeah, they're Christians. They were the yellow. Like where the black usually is, that was all yellow. And then the rest, everything else was white. They were Dior. They were yellow and white. Yeah. So he got me the Dior's. I knew they were the Dior. I knew they were those type of shoes, like not the no Chucks. It was Dior. It's Dior. That's right, Pop Smoke. So he got me Dior. And Spirit said, that's your confirmation that he trusts you and that's what you're waiting on connected to him. I said, well, I just want him to know I don't need it, SK. I don't need you, just in case you were waiting on the confirmation. This is it. I don't need you. I don't need your little gift. I don't need your valuables. I don't need your possessions. You can keep it. You can keep it. You can keep it, SK. She don't want it. No. Nigga, I'm not. The fuck? What do I need to do to prove to you? Who the fuck are you? So we don't get shit out of each other. Let it go. Spirit showed me all of a sudden he trusts you with his money. He's possessive. He's selfish. I said he can keep it. I don't give a fuck. I don't trust you with my heart, my body. But I'll give you my intelligence. You're like, well, that helps. I'll give you my mind, SK. I'll tell you things. I'll trust you with that. I'll help. I'll trust you with things like you're like a job. I'll give you money to work, an opportunity, right? But that's it. Something here is like you don't get nothing for free out of this bitch either. You're like, I get it. That's right. You been having me work too fucking hard to prove myself, and these bitches didn't have to do shit to prove themselves. All the bitch had to do is set you up. You proved it. Nigga didn't get no DNA test or nothing. You just believe any type of bullshit. So that made me mad is cause you like, yeah, that make the ancestors mad. They make them feel like we can't trust you. Because you possessive. You got a problem. You greedy. You got a greed issue, possession issue. So you can keep it. All right. We don't need it. We don't want it. After that, okay, Spirit shows me something has to do. It's gonna be a lot. I have to hurry up and tell you this. Something has to do with the Parliament, and the Parliament is like the Parliament has memory loss because they don't remember how we got here in the simulation, but they're the ones who got us here. You're like, yeah, and they don't know how, and they don't know how to get us back, and they're trying to figure it out. They've been waiting on support with this. They've been waiting on help. They don't know how we got stuck. They don't remember. The Spirit showed me. They don't even know what the fuck this is. Like the Parliament, you're like, yeah. All they know is that they're gifted. They could see, but they don't remember though how to get back home. You're like, no. And There's just certain things that they don't remember, but they have certain information still from the past, books and documents that were written before them, but they don't have their own experience. They haven't seen it in real time. Something here is like, you're like, yeah, they're still waiting for confirmation and proof that we are in a simulation, right? Hee hee hee. They don't know. And so, spiritual, I mean, they are the reason why we're here, though. It's not the Congress, it's the Parliament. And they don't remember. I said, what happened? Spirit show me that in the past, in one of my lifetimes, they showed me that I was in a location that was bigger than life. My family, certain people, my lovers, my friends, all right, we have been living in this, it's not a world, it's like, let's just say like a continent, or like you're like, yeah, like, let's say as if we lived on this continent. It's like, because you can't really say it's just like a state or a country, because how big they show it to me as is like, they show it like continents are being covered by the simulation. So it's like, you think the simulation is a world, but it's really just somebody, it's just all these countries combined into different continents. And so there is more to the map, is what I'm trying to say. Like, you just are only getting what we're giving you, what we're showing you, what we designed it to be. It's not to say that there's more out there. And so what they showed it to me was, they showed me a man. I told you guys this story, but the Parliament is still, they're still lost, and they making me mad, bro. You're like, yeah, because they're trying to hide information until they like, they want to hide the secrets until they get more information on how to solve the problem. They don't know how to fix something, but they know that there's problems. We're stuck. They don't know how. They don't know how to get us out. And they're afraid to tell you what they do know, because they don't know how to get us out. You're like, yes, okay. They're scared to tell you because they don't know what to do to solve the problem. Like, why would I tell you the problem if I don't know a solution? Well, maybe government, because other people can help solve the problem. Parliament, maybe because somebody's smarter than you. They hate that. That's another thing. They got a big ego. They hate when people are smarter than them. Because with the strategy, Aries, Capricorn, somebody want to be the smartest tool in the box, right? The sharpest tool, right? So it's like, they don't want to tell you until they can solve the problem, because they don't want your help. You're like, yeah, that's the problem. But they want help from people who are willing to, be under their control. You're like, yeah, okay. But you can't know more than them. That's dangerous to them. You're like, yeah. Because now they start feeling like, are you a part of it? What's going on? You're like, yeah. Parliament, you stupid. Right? So we find out they're holding on to information, things that I've told you already. They don't even know. They're forgetting the past because a lot of this information was burned up. I'm gonna say this story real quick. You gotta follow me, and then I'm gonna get ready to go. I have to go. There's a Sagittarius man I kept telling you guys about, because he does exist. He's a Saggy, and the Saggy, he's a white man. He got bald hair on the top. He older today. He old as hell, and he got white hair around the sides of his head, and he created a simulation, okay, from inside of a tunnel, working with a Virgo man of color named Tucson. Okay, it's very significant. They had to work together in the government, but not really, but yes, but not really. But they did have a job where they did certain things that were like for people's safety, their health. You're like, yeah, okay. So that's why I said it's kind of governmental, because it's like working as a doctor or working as you're like, yeah, they were doctors. Toussaint in the Sagimet, you're like, yeah. Toussaint was a man of color. His family is the Petersons, Tanae, and all them. That's very significant. It's a secret. But he got stuck. He got trapped. He fucked up. And he was working with this white man, the Saji, when they were young. You know, they were working, but they were doing things like that, hospital work. They were doing they had done magic. They could do a lot of shit. Simulations, electric stuff. They were genius. They are. They're smart. That's how he was able to fuck up my internet one time. He kept turning off my Xfinity. They're this is their world. I'm not playing with you. I'm just living in it. It's a simulation. And so they made this to go hide away in a tunnel when they wanted to just, like secretively talk and have personal time together, because they were in love. It was for love. They were gay. And the way that I'm not going to say it's their world. I'm going to call it their continent, it's like, it's because it's more than a country. It's like all the countries that you're seeing in our world today, that they say this is just, the world from nigga Colombia, nigga, to all the fuck from nigga China, nigga, to the US, like all these different countries. It's like those were not countries to them. Those were just like communities. That was just like their hometowns. But it was crazy is there was more. That's just what the Saji and Tucson was living under. They were living under all these countries as a home. It was a community. It wasn't as big as you think it is, as it looks today. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yeah, that really, I have to like make you understand that, because I feel like you guys don't get it, how much of the world this really is. So this isn't classified like all this that you see, all these countries and shit. They don't classify that as the world. Tucson, you're like, he don't classify that as the world. He classify it as home. The Saji, they don't classify it as the world, as a planet. They classify it as their communities, their homes, their continents, their jurisdictions. You're like, understood. hmm Why is that important? Because my family wasn't from their homes. My family was a foreigner to the Saji in Tucson. Okay, you're like, understood. My family had to travel. They had to migrate to that area, which is now known as the world we live in, Earth. Let's just say now that area is known as Earth. Okay, you're like, yeah, okay. So my family had to travel to Earth. My family wasn't from Earth. They could travel there by boat, by plane, by car. It was no difference. You're like, no, no. We had better technology. We didn't need a horse, motherfucker. We had boats, we had planes, we had cars in the metaphysical. And so my family had to travel to wherever the Tucson and the Saji was living, because we had went through an unnatural disaster. We had to. The water was hitting. We couldn't stay home. Nobody could. If you stayed there, you would have just got killed by the water. I mean, like whatever. And you have to know that when you're going to different jurisdictions, different plantations is what I like to say, or planets. You have to understand that there's different rules. Where I was from, my family, it was a free area. Like people could be gay. They're like, yeah, that was very significant. There wasn't no religion. People could be mystics. People could use magic. People could people could operate as a mystical being. But where the Saji was from and where Tucson was from, you're like, yeah, people were under rules like religion. You can't be gay. People had like governments, and like that's why I said it was like people had more law behind it. Like you can't be gay, you can't, you can't. What else was it? That was significant. Not being able to be gay. I'm gonna tell you why that's significant. But that was one of their rules in that jurisdiction, and that's why a lot of the things from the Bible and things like that, those were connected to their lands, their plantations, their planet. That's what they were taught and trained and taught how to be. There's truth to it, but that's not how everything was for everybody. You know, you're like understood. Everybody didn't have to get that information or go through that walk because everybody wasn't in that jurisdiction. Everybody wasn't on that plantation being controlled by those laws or those rules. You know, yeah, but because that those laws and rules existed, it created an order, and if you didn't follow them, it could really affect the energy field. So it's like nature is gonna be upset if you're triggering nature. If you're not going by nature, what they want the things to be ordered as. No, you can't be gay. You can only have you can only get married to the opposite sex. Like there's certain rules that religion come with. No stealing, you know, kill. You're like, yeah, you have to be peaceful. That was true, you know, because it could trigger nature. Like it can cause it can cause the sun to overheat. You're like, yeah, yeah, it can cause nature to be mad at you for abusing humans, human nature, beings, mystics, or just people, you know, and they look at people as nature, you know, they're a form of a natural element. They were born naturally. You didn't have to create them in a lab or, you know, you're like, yeah. So they look at that as if you're abusing humans, they look at you as somebody who is unnatural, and that can cause nature to be triggered by you. It can cause storms. It can. Spirit showed me that's true. It can cause fires. So it did. In the Sagittarius, him and the Virgo Tucson, you're like, yeah, they ended up they ended up trying to hide in there. It was cool. They didn't get caught. But what happened was when my family and other families and different families, when people started to migrate to those lands, those plantations, they had to hide in tunnels because they didn't have land out there. That wasn't their home. People had to wait to build. So where do they hide? You know, when it's just cold, it's raining, you need shelter. You're gonna find a cave or a tunnel. That's where you get the term cavemen, cave women. They were literally hiding in caves, and you find out that while they're hiding in these caves, we're waiting to build shelter. Some people end up getting lost in the caves. One of the caves that they went to, because there was different caves, I was like, wait, is it like only, like one? They're like, no, there's different caves. And that's why the temples out in Egypt are so significant, because these caves, people died in these caves trying to move around and go to from. It's like a portal. I can't really explain it. It really is. There's portals, and people have died in these caves because they was trying to move around to go into the other side, trying to teleport. Pretty much, you're like, yeah, travel and migrate. And not all the caves were designed the same. Some caves, like I said, were designed as simulations for other people to live a personal, private life in, like these men. And so that's how you get this world. This world is a small part of many plantations that were all formed in the same, pretty much, continents. And they had these rules. They had rules that were religious today, as you would call Catholic, Christian. I mean, the list can go on. They're Judaism, you know what I'm saying? Islam. They each had their own different plantations, though, that created these rules for everybody to live by. And there was truth to some of them, but others of them were going too far. Everybody had a different story, though. That's what you have to understand is like, if we're not all on the same plantations, we're not going to all meet the same savior. Somebody's savior was probably Jesus. Another person's savior was Muhammad. I don't give a fuck. Another person's savior was Yehuda. Another person. So everybody had their own, they're like understood, their own story. And that's why you can't try to give everybody the same story and say, hey, this is just what it is, because that's not. Somebody had a different culture and they were on a different plantation. They had different rules, but similar, just like Catholic and Christian have similar rules to it, but Catholics worship Mary more than Jesus. Christians worship Jesus more than Mary. So it's like, you got to understand, it's different rules to it, but they still got similarities. Now, I saw they were mad at the Sagittarius man, and they was mad at Tucson because these men were gay. And it reminded me of the Sodom and Gomorrah story. They showed me that when these people traveled into these tunnels and caves and went to go hide, just so that they can build shelter and not be, a threat to other people's plantations. Because it's like you would be like, why are you on my land? You would want somebody dead for just trying to live on your land. The fuck? They had to hide. They hid in these tunnels, and some of the tunnels were simulation. And what they found out was they would get stuck, and you would be physically stuck, as far as you would be mentally stuck, because when you go through a certain uh, energy field, you get memory loss. You start to forget. You can't help it. You go through an illusion, you go through delirium, and you start to go crazy. And then there's heat as well, because the sun. So what they showed me was like these people traveled in the cave. They were hiding for a little bit, but all of a sudden it started to get too hot because the sun was coming out too, like way too hot in the simulation. It's connected to this cave, and so when they had been in the cave hiding, the simulation started to overheat because the ancestors are mad through the sun. Though I can't really explain it. Like how they show it to me is that the sun is its own frequency. The sun has feelings. The moon is its own frequency. The moon has feelings. The stars, they're their own frequency. They're not God. It's a frequency. How they show it to me is that these frequencies, they do get upset or triggered depending on how you treat nature, the animals, the humans, the beings, the life, the insects, the trees. They show me that these energies have their own minds, their own feelings, and they move often, they respond. And so they did. And they burned up the simulation for a time being after these people try to hide in it. That's when people started to run in there to find shelter, they burned it up. The only way that they could get the simulation to stop burning was through the Sagittarius man. They're like, yeah, yes. And the Virgo, the ones who created it. Because they were mad when they saw that they couldn't go through it. It was too hot. You couldn't even access the cave without burning up. Like something here was fired. It was on fire. Everything was on fire that they had created, their design, their simulation, their work. And so they was mad because they couldn't go inside. They were trying to fix the problem. All they could do to fix it so they can go back in was cause rain. They had to make it rain. They're like, yeah. They didn't know what was going on. They were like, why is it all of a sudden burning up? Because other people are in there now. That made the sun mad. The sun felt like things need to be exposed at this point, so they burned it to life. They wanted it all burned down, but they didn't let it burn down. What they gonna do? They fixed it. They made it rain. They didn't want to stop keeping the simulation open. So Sally, you're like, yeah, he can go in and out. You're like, yeah. Tucson, they were able to travel. It's called time travel. And they go in and out. They were working with the government to go in and out. People were going in and out. From the metaphysical to the simulation. This is how you get movies like The Matrix. They were helping people. Part of them felt like it was their fault. You're like, yeah. One thing they couldn't change was the order, though, or the design of their world. Like they couldn't take away the fact that it's like you have these rules, but you're not living by them. We couldn't take away the rules because, like, even today, Spirit shows me if I was to go back to the metaphysical, all those people who are controlling their government's gone. They don't have no rules no more. So, in a sense, they needed to do this to keep themselves in power, in control. They allowed people to stay stuck in the simulation. They allowed people to not know. They're like, yeah, I told the Saji because the Saji can hear you. Like if you alone in your thoughts, Spirit said he can only hear you. The people who created the simulation, that's why he was sending me messages. His face, he was sending me the drink. He could hear me. Spirit said the only way he can hear you is when you're alone. You gotta talk to him when you're alone. He said the ancestors showed me that the Saji in Tucson, they could hear me. They was they was mad because I was causing people to, need to make deals with them. The government was trying to work with them because they knew I wasn't fucking lying. But there was only certain ones that knew this, and I was like, oh, like Kareem. That's why they need me to know. Okay, Tom and certain people knew what I was doing. They knew this work. Jamal. That's right. They know you guys. They know the simulation. They know that it's not a real world, and they know that they can manipulate things. So they were working with them to do it. They were traveling. And it's not time travel like where you need a spaceship. You can walk. You can walk straight through a tunnel. It's a tunnel. Out in Egypt, there's tunnels. They're out in Egypt. No, out in Egypt. There's tunnels. I just thought that was amazing. And after that, because that's all we have to do is remember how to get back, because it's like they've been using it to control the world, because it's not really a world, it's just literally a plantation, well, mini plantations, many continents in one. And then they tell you it's Earth, or they call it the world, they call it Earth. There's so much more than this. You haven't even seen what's out there, and all you got to do is go through it by walking. You don't need a spaceship. You're like, no, oh no, it's simple. But the Saji, he gotta fuck with you, as well as Tucson. If they don't fuck with you, they could change the frequency. It's their design. This is their home. Like something here is like, we're not supposed to be here because this belongs. They didn't want us to come inside of here. They didn't want to trap us. Their whole thing was they wanted to just be gay together and work together on the low as co-workers. Like this was all for their own love. This was a love thing. This is all about somebody's love life. It had nothing to do with nothing else. They feel bad. But once we got stuck, it was like, fuck. What are we gonna do? Telling ourselves? They trapped the government. They trapped the parliament, and that's what fucked up my head. I said, you trapped the parliament? They said the parliament. They went through. They took people through. They're working there today, old asses. In the parliament, they don't remember. That's what. I said, well, help me. Tell me the coordinates, motherfucker. Tell me the code. The parliament don't remember. Help me remember. After that, I saw I was connected with a queen. You're like, I was at the celebration. She's married. She got a husband. We can emoji her later. I never seen her before. She pretty as hell. She a white lady. She look genome. I said she was the white lady with blonde hair. She had blue eyes. And her hair, it was in a lower ponytail in a bun. She wears a silver crown. She got a dark pink two-piece, a blazer. A blazer is dark pink, and a skirt is dark pink, and some little closed toe heels. They're dark pink. She wore pink. She liked the color pink, and she was in a celebration. She was holding a drink, talking to people, holding a glass, happy, smiling. She had makeup on her face. She was older. You could tell she was older, like over 70s, over 60s. She was grown. She was married. Her husband was there, but she was really pretty. And she was short. Oh, yeah. Spirit said she's a queen, though, today. She's still a queen. The Spirit showed me her husband's still a king. The Spirit showed me that she know me. I said, no fucking way. By face or by name? The Spirit said she knows you by face and by name. Her husband know you too. The king and queen know you. I said, no fucking way. And they showed me that we would get along, that they like me. They said they know you and they support you, they like you, and we would get along. And I said, the queen. Mm, that's everything. That's how I like her too. She got good energy. I was trying to figure out how they found me. Spirit said she know me. So I'm grateful. Sorry, queen. I'm over here eating. I'm over here eating a banana, queen. You stupid. That's my confirmation. I'm supposed to be at the parties, though. You're like, yeah, I'm going to be there at the parties with the party, the parliament. Saying here, like, get ready for me. I know. Yeah, she connected to me, though. Something got to do with a new opportunity. She know about it. The parliament know about it. We all know. Let's stop faking the funk. We're going to stop acting. Stop hiding. Stop lying while you abuse this bitch. Okay? They over here stalking me, queen. You like, yeah, queen. They been stalking me. The safe way. This bitch trying to get some Wi-Fi. They don't want me to have Wi-Fi. So this bitch, I've been running to the Safeway to get the free Wi-Fi using that guest service Wi-Fi. If somebody can't stand to see it, and they're gonna pull up on me in their little dirty pickup truck. I'm like, queen, no way. They're stalking me. I need security. I need guards. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. And we find out it was no problem at all. I didn't need a guard for too long. I saw the hitman. The hitman came. You're like, yeah. Yeah, they sure did, queen. The hitman. I realized somebody here, they get it, we get it, we're on the same page. I gotta go. Not everything. You like, yeah. I have to tell you, in order to fix the frequency back in the metaphysical, you're like, yeah, somebody has to do work. There is jobs. You have to have people who are able to work. But it has to be people you trust. If you choose somebody outside of people you trust, you're gonna regret it. You have to have people who are able to monitor and watch over like a meter connected to the weather and shit, because it will get too hot. You're like, yeah, the frequency. Somebody here has to help balance things out, because it can get too hot, it can get too cold, it can be out of order right now, to where like people don't have seasons. You would have to get things on track with that, but it's all about the frequency. Spirits say that that's out of order, and there's no telling how the frequency will respond to certain people's energy. So it's just like you never know what could happen. It's kind of dangerous, if you're not someone who knows how to do that type of job. That's why I need the Saggy help. He turned on me. You're like, yeah, that's why I was mad. Tucson, they fucking dumb as fuck. You find out. They turned on me. So when I needed them the most, they wasn't there. And I was like, I need them. That much to go. I just know that there's not a lot of people who can do that type of thing, that type of work. I know programmers are good at it, things like that. But that's what it is. It's like you would have to like keep it at bay, or like how people have to control the water. Like, you know, they're like, yeah, to where it's not too hot, not too cold. You just have to control it, make sure it's not too. You're like understood. That's all. Also, I can't explain it. That's everything. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.